This is a support inbox of an online store. See one read email. And here's the thing nobody tells you. When you start an e-commerce business, this is one of the jobs. Not the product, not the marketing. This unread inbox. Where's my order? I want a refund. All the same questions again and again, every single day. And every one of them needs you to stop what you're doing and reply. If you take too long, they leave a 1-star review. If you reply with the copy-paste template, they can tell and they hate it. So you sit there answering all the emails one by one because you're scared of what happens if you don't. So I built a system that handles this, but not the way you think. Because the dangerous part of automating support isn't writing the emails. It's knowing which email you are allowed to reply and which one you should absolutely do not reply to. Let me show you what I mean. Now your first thought is probably, can't I just paste this into ChatGPT? Of course you can. It can write a reply, but it's like 10% of the job. ChatGPT can't read your inbox. It can't look at the email and decide if it's right to respond or not. And it certainly can't pull at the actual order information from your Shopify store before it can send the reply. What I built does all of that. It's not a chatbot, it's a triage system. Let me show you this running first, then I'll show you exactly how to put it together. These are the 2 emails just landed. Watch what the system does, because it does 2 completely different things, and that's the whole point. Email 1 is, where is my order that has been ordered 2 days ago? And that's the order number. So just in a few seconds, without anyone touching it, it has already got a reply back to the customer. It pulled out an actual order number which was shipped 2 days ago, Australia Post, real tracking number, and a real answer to a real question. It was sent while I was doing literally nothing. Now on to email 2. Of course, and one of the angry customers wanting a full refund. There are 2 different kind of emails coming into the same inbox, and I have a totally different workflow. This is where GPI bots get their owners into real trouble. A dumb bot fires a templated reply back to an angry customer, and customer generally leaves a 1-star review. Watch what this one did instead. It didn't send anything. It read the situation, refund, skin, reaction, unhappy customer, and it flagged it for a human. But it didn't dump the work back on me either. It already wrote the draft and doesn't promise the refund. It's not authorized to promise anything because that's its guardrails. I just open it, tweak a line or 2, and just send. 15 seconds, then that's done. That's the difference between an auto reply bot and a triage brain. One email, it answered itself, and the other, it knew not to touch. It knows the line, and knowing the line is the only reason you would ever trust something like this with your real customers. Okay, let me show you how it's actually built. You don't need to follow every step. I just want you to see what's under the hood, because once you see it, you'll understand why this works. The whole thing is running on anything. The first node, it just watches the support inbox. Any new email lands, and this system wakes up. As a Claude triage. This is the pre. Every email goes to Claude. That's the AI modeling doing the reasoning. But I'm not asking it to write anything yet. All I'm doing is I'm just asking it to classify. Look what comes back. It's a structured decision. In this example, it has categorized into refunds, urgency, sentiment, negative, all those kind of things. And that's what matters the most, because that will define what happens next. This is the flag, true or false. This is the single most important line in the entire system. This is the AI deciding whether it's even allowed to answer on its own, or it should just leave it to the human. I've written the rules deliberately strict that order status, shipping, product questions are fine to answer. But the second it sees refund, complaint, angry tone, or anything urgent, it flips to false. When in doubt, a human looks. That's not a limitation, that's the feature. Based on that one flag, email goes to one of the 2 ways. Save stuff get the auto response, and the negative stuff remains in the draft. On the save bar, Claude will type a reply, and then Gmail node just sends that. And all that will be logged into Google Sheets. Before our both exam, we can see what happened with each of the emails. Email 1 with the order status was auto send, and email 2 with the refund was in the draft and it needed a human review. And on the risky part, Claude will still draft an email. It will stay in the draft and it will tag as need review, so that whenever a human logs into the inbox, they can directly see what needs to be reviewed and just send the email. And every single email gets logged in the Google Sheet. Category, urgency, what was the action taken, and the timestamp. So at the end of the week, you can actually see the system handle 50 emails by itself and flag 6 for me. And notice what I did not do. I didn't let the AI lose all the whole inbox and hope. I built the guardrails first. Anyone can make AI write an email. The skill is making it shut up when it should. So here's the before and after. We started with few emails in the inbox. The workflow replied to few and drafted a few for us to review. They're already written, waiting for us to approve and send. The order went from I spent 2 hours in my day in the inbox to spend 15 minutes approving the one that matters the most. Customers get faster replies. The hard cases get handled carefully by the real person. And nobody got an automated, sorry for your rash, here's a open disaster. That's the whole thing. It's not about placing support. It's about your AI knowing the difference between email can handle it and the one it can't. So you can finally trust it with your inbox. If you want to do it yourself, I made the entire workflow free to download. This is the exact editing files from this video. You import it, plug it into your store and drop. And because the real skill here is knowing what to automate and what never to touch, I've also put together a one-page checklist which support email are safe to auto answer and which ones should always go to human. Build one of this for your own store. Let me know how it goes. And next time, I'm tackling thing every store owner ignores until it's too late. Inventory. Specifically on how to make a store reorder stock before you run out automatically. See you in the next one.